All right, you can probably bring me back within the next about 30 seconds or so.
Sounds good. I'll play the sports bump in 15 seconds.
Okay.
We'll bring you back. We got 10 seconds.
Oh, no, give me a little bit more.
Okay.
Sorry.
Give me a little bit.
Yeah, give me about another minute or so, I guess.
Okay.
Trying to get the timing right here with the go with the stream.
Yeah, no worries. So when do you want me to start giving you like a 30 seconds?
All right, yeah, you can bring me back after this one. Make sure you count me down, though. Matt Johnson back here at Mertz Morley Gymnasium, getting ready to get this one underway between the Yellow Jackets and the Minnesota Morris Cougars. Third time this season these two teams have met. Series notes between these two squads. Morris leads the all-time series with the Yellow Jackets, 18 wins and 12 losses since their first matchup on September 8th of 1995. The two teams split their regular season matchups this season, with the Yellow Jackets winning the first matchup in a sweep by set scores of 25-15, 25-15, and 25-18 before the Cougars rallied from a 2-0 down deficit in the return matchup on November 1st to take three straight sets and edge past the Yellow Jackets by scores of 20-25, 24-26, 26-24, 26-24, and 15-7 in their second matchup. Today marks the third straight season the two teams have met in the UMAC tournament semifinal round, with UWS winning the previous two matchups by scores of 3-2 on November 2nd, 2022 at the Mertz here in Superior, and then 3-1 last season at Jim Gramel's court in Morris. Over their past 10 matchups, the two teams have gone a combined 5-5 against one another, that coming since October 3rd of 2021. So it has been a very even matchup between the two sides, as the Cougars will serve first. Serving it up is Sydney Peterson with the opening serve, sponsored by Barker's Island Inn, and we are underway, and right away it's an ace for the Cougars for Peterson, the 5'10 senior from Lino Lakes, Minnesota. Gets Minnesota Morris out to a quick 1-0 lead. Her second serve will be sent over here by UWS's McKenna Holbein. Now to the outside, tipped over the net there. On the far side by Mary-Kate Zembeck. Now rising for the swing for the Yellow Jackets was Ayla Altmans, tipped at the net. Claude will go, Colleen Claude to the far side, tipped over by Holbein. Cougars playing defense well here to start. Here's a left-handed swing from the far side by Lacey O'Leary. That's dug up by the Yellow Jackets backside. And now going up, here's the swing by Ayla Altmans, and she'll get stuffed at the net far side. Solo block for Mary-Kate Zembeck, and it's 2-0 in favor of Minnesota Morris. Just underway here in this UMAC Conference Tournament semifinal contest from the Mertz. Thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday evening, wherever you may be watching or listening from. In the meantime, here's a swing now near side by Holbein. Dug out back row by Wellbrock, sent over. Free ball, Yellow Jackets. Jenna Anderson, Colleen Claude, back set going up. Here's the swing now by Altmans. Good dig there by Peterson. Now the far side, O'Leary will punch it over. Another free ball for UWS. Now through the middle, here's Sydney Smith on the swing. Tipped at the net again. Now back set, here's O'Leary in her swing, and that one will go out of play. Off the Yellow Jackets and UWS to a slow start here, trailing at 3-0 here in the opening serve rotation of the match. UWS has had plenty of swings here thus far, and these first 3 points just haven't been able to put anything down as of yet. And now Peterson continuing on the serve. Holbein on the reception. Claude to the outside. Here's the swing now, put up by Ayla Altmans, and she gets the first kill, and the Yellow Jackets finally get the side out here. They trail at 3-1 here, early stages. And the freshman Holbein will go back and serve it for the Yellow Jackets. UWS is a team hitting 190 during the regular season. Off the serve, it'll be an ace there for Holbein. To the back row. And pass intended for Sydney Peterson was off the mark. Yellow Jackets within one now, 3-2. As Holbein will continue here from the service line. Here's her serve. Wellbrock will send it over for a free ball for the Yellow Jackets. Claude to the outside. Here's Mayana Stark with the swing. She goes off the block attempt there of Lacey O'Leary for the kill. And the Jackets with 3 straight. Now we're even up 3 apiece here, set number 1. As Holbein serve. Braun overshoots it. And now we're going to have in the net called here against the Cougars. And now it's 4 straight for UWS. So the Yellow Jackets take a 4-3 lead here. Again, just underway. And here's the serve from Holbein, back row. Now to the outside, here's the swing, and that one's going to be a kill for Zembeck. 5'9" junior from Victoria, Minnesota, evens it up off the side L, 4 apiece. Going back to the line now is the aforementioned Mary Kate Zembeck. And she will serve it here. Here's her serve into the net. Well read that time by Colleen Claude, and then stepping up and putting it down with authority for the Yellow Jackets off the swing is Sydney Smith. Smith, the 6'4" sophomore from Middletown, Wisconsin, gives the Jackets back the lead. 5-4, Jenna Anderson back to serve for UWS. Here's her serve. Peterson outside, swing by O'Leary, and that'll be a kill for her. Lacey O'Leary makes it 5 apiece. And Madeline Monaco now will go back, and she will serve it here. And here's her serve. Stark, back set from Claude. Here's the swing now by Altmans, and she'll get the kill. Ayla Altmans gives the Yellow Jackets a 6-5 lead as Gabby Schwartz checks in for the first time. That is Miranda Sanger. Schwartz, the 5'9" junior from Plato, Minnesota, will go back and serve with UWS up by 1. And she'll serve this one up. Wellbrock, Peterson back for Wellbrock, a little off balance. Her swing tipped at the net there by Addie Gangle, who's in. Now played over. Free ball, Yellow Jackets. Schwartz, Gangle with the swing. Tipped at the net. Peterson outside Wellbrock, and she'll get the kill. Laura Wellbrock, the 5'9" senior from Northfield, Minnesota, makes it 6 apiece. And now O'Leary will go back and serve it here for the Cougars. Here's her serve. Anderson, Schwartz, back set. Stark with the swing. Tipped at the net. Dug out by the Cougars. Now far side, Wellbrock goes up, punches it over. Now Schwartz to the outside, off balance is Mayana Stark, playing it over. Now here's the dump attempt by Peterson. Well read by Anderson on the dig. Now here's Sager, and she'll hit the back line. Rolled it over and got the kill. Marina Sager gives the Yellow Jackets a 7-6 lead. Savannah Herring comes in for the Yellow Jackets to serve. And confusion here apparently between the two sides. Checking in, by the way, Allison Dornseif now for Morris. And now Stark will come out and Herring will come in and serve. Jackets leading it by 1 here, early stages, set number 1, best 3 out of 5. And here's the serve now from Herring. Wellbrock. Now we'll play it over. Free ball Jackets. Anderson, Schwartz to the outside. Punched over now and put down. Nicely done that time by the freshman McKenna Holbein. It adjusted in the air, did the freshman from Holdingford, Minnesota. Puts it down with the left hand, and it's 8-6 now. Jackets by 2. Here's Herring's serve. Now through the middle, here's the swing, hanging up in the air, dug out by the Cougars. Free ball for the Yellow Jackets. Now Sager on the swing, and she'll get the kill. Use the block attempt over there of Braxton Meyer, the 5'11" freshman from Belle Plaine, Minnesota, and it's 9-6 now. The Jackets with a 3-point lead. That's Herring back at the line. There's her serve. Outside Wellbrock on the swing, and she'll get the kill. Off of Addie Gangle and down for Wellbrock, makes it 9-7. And now the Cougars will serve it again here. Going back is Wellbrock. Here's her serve. Herring, Schwartz, outside. Now here's the swing by Holbein, and she'll get the kill. Hanging in the air, waiting for that set to come down, and then putting it down for her second kill of the match. And the early going was McKenna Holbein. UWS up 10-7. Addie Gangle on the serve. Zembeck on the reception. Now she'll get a swing at it. Goes off the block attempt of Sager, and we'll get the kill. To make it 10-8. Two teams trading points at the moment. Jenna Anderson comes back into the back row for UWS. Well, going to serve it now is Melanie Monaco. Senior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the Cougars. And promptly serves it long for an error. 11-8 your score. Colleen Claude will check back in. Altman's also coming back in. They'll replace Schwartz and Sager for the Yellow Jackets. Colleen Claude, two-sport athlete here at UWS. Will join the women's basketball team once the volleyball campaign is concluded. We'll serve this one up. Back row, Wellbrock on the reception. Now on the outside, it's Zembeck. And she'll tip it over for the kill. Back and forth we go. 11-9 your score. Sydney Peterson returns for the Cougars. Takes her second turn at the service line here in the first set. There's the serve. Herring. Claude. Altman's going cross court. Dig now by the Cougars. There's the swing now by O'Leary, and she'll get the kill. Lacey O'Leary on the termination. The assist to Sydney Peterson. Makes it 11-9. Both teams hitting well here at the start. Peterson serve. Herring. Down through the middle. Here's the swing by Smith, and she'll get the kill. Sydney Smith for the Yellow Jackets. Sophomore makes it 12-10 off the side out. Stark comes back, as does UWS's McKenna Holbein, who goes back to the line to serve. Zembeck, Peterson bumping it up. And now she'll use the block attempt there of Sydney Smith. Went high off the block. A little bit off balance, but got the kill, did Zembeck, and it's now 12-11. Zembeck at the line again here. Here's the serve. Yellow Jackets couldn't keep it in play. Free ball for the Cougars, but now Smith goes up off the overpass and puts it down. Cougars looking at the down referee for a net violation. Didn't get the call. 13-11. Jackets back up by 2. Anderson serve. Zembeck, Peterson. O'Leary tipped at the net, and the Yellow Jackets will get the tip kill there from Addie Gangle. A little bit of miscommunication there, as Peterson wasn't quite sure where her hitters were, I didn't think. And Gangle taking advantage to get the block. 14-11 your score. Here's the serve now from Anderson. Near side here is O'Leary on the swing, and she'll get the kill. Both teams really hitting the ball well. Jackets at 429, the Cougars at 381. 14-12 your score. Well, Brock now will serve it. Stark, back set from Claude. Here's the swing and a kill now from Altman's. Efficiency so far been really good both ways. Jackets still leading it by 3 at 15-12. Gabby Schwartz back in. She'll serve here for the Yellow Jackets. Back row now. Zembeck to the outside. Well, Brock tips it over. Dug out there by Schwartz. Bumped outside by Anderson. Now here's the swing from Lyanna Stark. Kept alive. And now they'll be playing it over for a Yellow Jacket free ball. Schwartz back set. Here's the swing from Sager. Tipped at the net. Kept alive. Now Lyanna Stark going to the corner. Now to the far side. Bumped over another free ball. This time it's the Yellow Jackets. Schwartz. And things got a little bit messed up there for the Jackets on that out-of-system attack there. Ends up in an error. Point to the Cougars makes it 15-13. And the serve now coming from O'Leary. Now Schwartz. Sager will bump it over. Peterson outside Zembeck on the swing. Dug out by Holbein. Now here's the swing from Stark. Tipped at the net. Schwartz will dump it over, and she'll get the kill. Good read there by Gabby Schwartz. 16-13 now, the Jackets up by 3 again. Stark will check out. Herring comes back in. Here's the serve now. Back row. Now punched over the Yellow Jacket free ball. Schwartz to the outside. Here's the swing taken by Holbein. Now tipped over. Free ball for the Cougars. Back set near side by Dornseif. Swing near side. Dug up by the Yellow Jackets. Now played over by Gangle. Dornseif near side. Swing to the back row. Dug out by Herring. Now near side. Here's the swing on the left hand. Dug out by the Yellow Jackets. Now kept over. UWS still keeping the play alive. And now it'll be a point for the Yellow Jackets. Anna Molstad had a couple of good looks, number 18 in maroon. The Jackets refusing to let the ball hit the floor. And after a back and forth set of plays there, 17-13 now your score. Here's the serve from Herring. Melanie Monaco now played over. Jackets with the set to the near side, swing by Holbein, dug out back row now by Dornseif, and now a block at the net by Addie Gangle on Laura Welbrock, and the Jackets have their largest lead at 18-13. Serve coming up again from Herring. Good rotation here for the Jackets. Zembeck, Dornseif to the outside. The swing by Welbrock into the net for an error. The Jackets now up by 6 at 19-13, and Coach Joe Sussenguth is going to take the opportunity here to call a timeout. With UWS up by half dozen here. Can't get enough of the Yellow Jackets. Tune into Eye of the Swarm, the official podcast of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Join John Garver and me throughout the years. We sit down with the Yellow Jacket student athletes, coaches, and other guests. Eye of the Swarm is available on Yellow Jacket TV on UWSYellowJackets.com/podcast, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts. This week's guest, by the way, Commissioner of the Upper Midwest Athletic Conference himself, Corey Borkhardt, who was in town for tonight's match. John and I had a chance to sit down with Corey and pick his brain for a good 40 to 45 minutes, so stay tuned for that one. That one should be coming out probably within the next day or so. Always good to see the commissioner, conference commissioner, who was in town, by the way, this past weekend as the Yellow Jacket men's and women's soccer teams went back to the NCAA tournament by winning their respective tournament titles. A few paces from where we are to my right over at Superior Choice Credit Union Stadium. In the meantime, we come out of the timeout here. UWS up 19-13. Herring continuing on this rotation for the Yellow Jackets. Freshman from right here in Superior, and she drips it to the back line now. Zembeck, Monaco, now they play it over back row. Anderson off the dig. Schwartz through the middle. Here's the swing for Gangle, and she'll get the kill. Addie Gangle off the assist from Schwartz makes it 20-13. Yellow Jackets by 7. Jackets now hitting over 300 as a team, while the Cougars hitting at 182. As Herring serve. And this one will go long, and it'll be an error. And the Cougars finally get the side out there. Going back now, it'll be Laura Welbrock. She will serve it here for Minnesota Morris. And here's her serve. Herring, near side now. Here's the swing from Holbein, tipped at the net. Anderson bumps it outside. Now played up in the air, and we're going to have the point given to the Cougars. Coach Lynn Diedrich up asking the down ref and the up ref a question on that particular call. WS thought they had tipped it over and that the Cougars might have been into the net. Schwartz tried to send that one over, but both referees concur that was Morris's point, and so they serve it up, and that'll be an ace. Knuckleball serve there from Laura Welbrock to make it 20-16. Here's her serve. Now Schwartz popping it up. Here's Sager on the swing, and she finds the far sideline. Marina Sager with her third kill of the opening set makes it 21-16 now as Anderson will check out. Gangle back to the line. Addie Gangle to the back line, received by Melanie Monaco. Now near side, here's the swing from Molstad, and she'll get the kill. The assist to Allison Dornseif makes it 21-17. And Melanie Monaco, there are two Monacos on this team, by the way. Senior twins, by the way, Melanie and Madeline. This is Melanie from the service line, and her serve drifts long. Over the back line for an error, 22-17 as Claude comes back in, as is Ayla Altmans. And Claude now for UWS. Here's her serve. Received by Zembeck, who punches it over. Anderson, Holbein, topspin back row. Dugout back row by Welbrock. Now Zembeck. Claude off the dig. Near side, here's the swing for Holbein, and it hits the back line. That was a heck of a block there. That was Malin Monaco who got the block, I believe. Molsab is also over there, but it makes it 22-18 either way, side out. And now Sydney Peterson for the Cougars. Back row Herring, and she overshoots the pass. Keeping it alive with Zembeck. Now Zembeck got the swing, and she'll get stuffed by Sydney Smith. Solo block for the sophomore. Makes it 23-18. Herring checks back out. Mayana Stark back in. McKenna Holbein goes to the line for UWS. And right into the net. Service error on Holbein makes it 23-19. And now Zembeck will go to the line and serve it here for the Cougars. Zembeck serve. And it's an ace. Tucked it right in between UWS's Anderson and Holbein in the back row. 23-20. Zembeck serve. Holbein. Claude. Back set. Altman's on the swing. And it'll hit the court. Diving attempt at the dig there from Sydney Peterson comes up short to make it 24-20. It's now set point for the Yellow Jackets. Going to go up 1-0 here in this best of 5 UMAC tournament semifinal match here from the Mertz in Superior. Anderson serve. Melanie Monaco. Peterson bumping it up. Welbrock. Hits the tape and down for the kill. And cross court did Welbrock, makes it 24-21. And now Madeline Monaco goes back to serve it here for Minnesota Morris. Her serve. Stark on the overpass. And putting it down now with both hands is going to be Welbrock. Lead down to 2. We'll see how much longer Coach Lynn Diedrich lets this play out. This is set point number 3, and Coach Diedrich decides, nope, we're going to talk this out. And so the Yellow Jackets take their first time out. Gives us a chance to give you the stats here thus far in set number 1. UWS hitting .282 as a team, while the Cougars are hitting .175. Jackets getting 4 kills so far from Ayla Altmans, 3 kills each from Sydney Smith and Marina Sager. Cougars with 4 kills each from Lacey O'Leary, Laura Welbrock, and also Mary Kate Zembeck. UWS 15 kills thus far here in set number 1 with 4 errors, while the Cougars at 13 and 5. 7 assists thus far for Colleen Claude. 8 assists so far for Sydney Peterson. Anderson already with 10 digs coming off that career high effort against Metheny Lutheran in the regular season finale. Meanwhile, the Cougars spreading it around. Peterson also with 4 digs to lead them as we come out of the timeout. Jackets by pair. At 24-22, here's the serve. Anderson, Claude to the outside here. Stark on the swing, and she'll finish it for the Yellow Jackets. The senior Mayana Stark with the swing, her second kill of the match. Gives the Yellow Jackets the first set here out the Mertz. Your score 1-0. Jackets taking set number 1, 25-22. And we'll take a quick break and then come back with our first set summary and a start to the second set. This break being sponsored, by the way, by Hovland Incorporated. And we'll be back in just a minute or two. This is Yellow Jacket Women's Volleyball on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Network. Our first set intermission sponsored by Hobbin Incorporated. Yellow Jackets taking the opening set 25-22. UWS in that set hitting an even 300 while the Cougars hitting 200 in that first set. UWS 16 kills on 40 swings, 4 attack errors for the Yellow Jackets. The Cougars 13 kills, 40 attacks as well in 5 errors. Jackets 4 kills for Ayla Oltmans, 3 each from Sydney Smith and Marina Sager, but UWS in that set got kills from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different players. The Cougars getting all of their kills except for 1 from 3 players, Mary-Kate Zembeck, Laura Welbrock, and Lacey O'Leary, all with 4 kills in that first set. 8 assists for Sydney Peterson to go with 4 digs. That leads the Cougars after 1 set. The Yellow Jackets getting 8 assists from Colleen Claude, 5 from Gabby Schwartz, 10 digs, as I mentioned, for Jenna Anderson in that opening stanza as well. So well played by the Yellow Jackets in that first set, leading at 1-0 as we get ready to begin set number 2. Jackets 25-22, like I said, in that first set. Taking all 4 sets between the two teams here at the Mertz this season. As Colleen Claude getting ready to start things up here. Set number 2, as I mentioned. And Claude for the Yellow Jackets. Top spin serve, back row. Melanie Monaco, Peterson near side, now tipped over. Jackets keeping the play alive, tipping it over off the dig. Well done that time by Oltmans. Now tip at the net off a swing from Sydney Smith. Now a ball right at the net. And the Jackets now will punch it over. Here's McKenna Holbein. Zembeck, Peterson, back set. Here's the swing from O'Leary, and she'll get the kill. Lacey O'Leary's 5th kill of the match gives the Cougars the side out. They lead it 1-0 here. Set number 2. Mary-Kate Zembeck will get Morris off and running from the service line here in set number 2. And here's her serve. And it's out. Service error gives the side out to the Jackets, 1 apiece. Well, the freshman Holbein will go back for the Yellow Jackets and serve here. And here's her serve, top spin. Welbrock overshoot on the pass. Here's the tip attempt on the kill by Stark, dug out by the Cougars. Now here's Welbrock. Her swing dug out back row now by Anderson. Now here's the swing by Smith, and she'll get the kill. Sydney Smith for the Yellow Jackets. Her 4th kill. Gives UWS a 2-1 lead here. Holbein continuing from the line. Here's her serve. Monaco, back set from Peterson, tipped over by O'Leary. Now to the outside, here's Oltmans, and she'll get stuffed. Solo block that time by Welbrock. A little off balance on the swing there was Oltmans. Block makes it 2 apiece. Now it's Malin Monaco back to the line to serve it. Claude through the middle. Here's the swing from Smith, and she'll get the kill. Sydney Smith. 2 early kills for the sophomore middle hitter for the Yellow Jackets. Makes it 3-2. Gangle comes back in. Meanwhile, Jenna Anderson at the line here for UWS. Here's her serve. Zembeck, Peterson through the middle. Here's the swing and a block. Braxton Myers, solo block that time by Gangle. Jackets now with a 4-2 advantage. Very versatile team, this Yellow Jacket squad. We talked about that in the pregame interview with Coach Lynn Diedrich. As here's the swing off the serve from O'Leary, dug out by the Yellow Jackets. Now far side, here's a top spin swing from Mayana Stark. Near side, now here's the swing from Welbrock, and that one's wide. Jack Ayer makes it now 5-2. Jackets up by 3 here, early stages, set number 2, leading it 1-0. Here's her serve. Now rising up, here's the swing from Welbrock, dug out by Anderson. Back set now for Oltmans. He goes cross court, now jousts at the net, and Oltmans will put it down with 2 hands for the Yellow Jackets. WS now up 6-2 here in set number 2. As Anderson with the serve. Zembeck, Peterson outside. Here's the swing now by O'Leary, and she'll get the side out. On the kill, O'Leary with 6 kills now in the early going, makes it 6-3. Here's her left-handed serve, and off that spinning serve, took Mayana Stark off balance, gets the ace, makes it 6-4. Stark couldn't play it over to the setter Claude. Now O'Leary again, right at Stark again. This time she gets a better pass away. Now Altman's on the swing and she'll get the kill. Ayla Altman's now with her 6th termination of the match. The assist to Claude. Jackets side out to make it 7-4. Gabby Schwartz comes back in. Marina Sager is going to come in as well and replace Claude, it looks like. Meanwhile, Allison Dornsife is going to come back in the match as well. Both teams running a 6-2 offense tonight. And Schwartz now from the line for the Yellow Jackets. And she'll serve up an ace. Dropped it right out in front of Mary Kate Zembeck to make it 8-4. Schwartz again. Wellbrock on the reception this time. Dornsife. Wellbrock punches it over. Bumped up. Now here's the swing by Sager, and that one will go long. Zach Air on the Jackets gives the side out back to the Cougars at 8-5. Laura Wellbrock goes back to the line now for Morris. Here's her serve. Stark. Schwartz now. Gangle on the swing. And she'll get the kill out of it. Plenty of velocity on that swing from Addie Gangle. Makes it 9-5. Savannah Herring in to serve it now for the Yellow Jackets. Floats it over. Malin Monaco. Bumped up now Molstad. Dugout back row by Herring to the far side. Now here's the swing from UWS's McKenna Holbein, and she'll get the kill. Jackets offense still trucking right along here. Makes it now 10-5. Herring at the line. Back row now. Here is Dornsife over the top. Jackets digging out the swing, and then in the underside of the net, 4 contacts there as Holbein was a little off balance in the air. Gives the side out to the Cougars. (10-6) your score. Melanie Monaco will serve it up. Anderson for the Jackets. Schwartz outside here. Sager going cross court. Dugout on the Yellow Jacket side of the court. Now Gangle. Schwartz. Swung by Holbein. Dugout by Zembeck. Now through the middle, hanging in the air and getting the kill is going to be Madeline Monaco. 10-7 now your score. Madeline Monaco continuing to serve. Floats it over. Anderson. Overshoot on the pass. Free ball for the Cougars. Near side. Now here's the swing from Zembeck. Tipped by Sager. Now sent over by Zembeck again. Free ball Jackets. Bumped outside by Anderson. Now going up. Here's the swing from Holbein. Dugout back row by Wellbrock. Now sent over by Zembeck. Free ball Jackets again. Now here's the swing this time from UWS's Addie Gangle. She'll get the kill. The assist to Gabby Schwartz. UWS still up by 4 as Smith comes back in. 11-7. Gangle serve. Wellbrock. Dornsife outside. Tipped over by Zembeck. Now Sager. She'll tip it over. Melanie Monaco on the dig. Now outside Zembeck. Her swing tipped at the net. Jackets setting it to the far side, and here's the swing by the freshman Holbein, and she'll put it down, and the Jackets up now 12-7. Now Gangle serve. Dornsife to the outside. Swing now by Molstad, and she'll get the kill. Anna Molstad makes it 12-8. Gangle will check out. Anderson comes back in. Peterson back in to serve as well for the Cougars. Here's our serve. Herring. Schwartz. Near side. Here's the swing by Sager. Dug out by Peterson. Now sent over for Yellow Jacket free ball. Schwartz. Smith on the swing. Dug out back row by Wellbrock. Now dumped over by Peterson. Now Sager. Gets the swing. Dug out. Should be another Yellow Jacket free ball as Wellbrock bumps it over. Herring. Schwartz. Swing now taken by Holbein. Tipped at the net. Now they'll try Holbein again. Tipped at the net again. Back and forth we go. Tipping it over now is Zembeck. Ball still alive. Back and forth. Now Jouts at the net. Going up is Smith, and she'll get the kill. Out of system play there, but well read that time. I think there was going to be a Jouts at the net. Instead, it ended up being a one-on-one for Sydney Smith against the shorter Mary-Kate Zembeck, and she puts it down with the right arm swing. 13-8 Yellow Jackets in the lead. And now a timeout going to be called here by the Cougars. If you're a Yellow Jacket fan looking for great team gear, visit our official Yellow Jacket sideline store and browse all the current styles of Yellow Jacket apparel and accessories, including the same gear the Yellow Jackets wear. Find the Yellow Jacket sideline store at uwsyellowjackets.com/shop. Quick reminder, by the way, that our next Yellow Jacket joint broadcast, both on 91.3 FM KUWS and on Yellow Jacket TV, will come up less than 24 hours. Yours truly, I'll be right back here at the Mertz tomorrow for men's basketball. The bridge battle here for the 2024-25 campaign as Coach Greg Polkowski's men's Hoopers taking on St. Scholastica. That game was actually originally scheduled to be played tonight, but got pushed back a day due to another event that was taking place. I don't know which one. Wink, wink. Anyway, the Yellow Jackets and the Saints tomorrow. 7 p.m. the opening tip. 6:45 the pregame. Again, that'll be a joint broadcast here on 91.3 FM KUWS and on Yellow Jacket TV. In the meantime, we come out of the timeout. UWS up 13-8. Colleen Claude at the service line here for UW Superior. Jackets hitting 281 for the match. The Cougars at 154. And Claude now from the line. Here it is. Wellbrock Peterson backs that on the slide. Here's the swing down Malin Monaco, and there's a whistle. And they're going to call the Cougars. Malin Monaco on that slide in the net. Point to the Jackets makes it 14-8. Claude now from the line. Zembeck. Malin Monaco. Now bumped over. Free ball UWS. Anderson. Claude. Smith. Kill for the Yellow Jackets. Well done that time. Claude spot on with the set to the sophomore Sydney Smith, who's having a great match so far. Smith now with 7 kills, hitting over 750. And it's 15-8 Jackets. Now near side off the serve. There's a swing for Zembeck, and she finally ends the Yellow Jacket run to make it 15-9 off the side out. Back to the line now. Here's Zembeck. Knuckling serve. Received by Herring. Now Oltman's on the swing. And the Cougars will play it over for a free ball. Claude to the far side. Here's the swing by Oltmans, and she'll get the kill. Actually, it's McKenna Holbein. I'll take that back. Holbein putting it down. Off the assist from Claude to make it 16-9. And now Holbein back to the line here for UWS. Melanie Monaco on the reception. Peterson through the middle. Now punched over, literally, by Madeline Monaco. Swing to the far side now from Stark. Tipped at the net. Melanie Monaco now bumps it near side. Here's Wellbrock, and she'll get stuffed at the net here by Sydney Smith. He was really taking control of things for the Jackets here in set number 2. 17-9 now. The Jackets by 8. As Holbein at the line. Floats it back row. Wellbrock overshoots the pass. Now Smith goes up and puts it down. 18-9 now your score. Coach Joe Sussenguth yet to use his second and final timeout here of the second set. And Sydney Smith is having herself a match here so far. 8 kills and 10 swings now for the sophomore. And then a service ace here from Holbein. Cougars kind of coming apart here a bit in the middle of the second set. 19-9 now the Yellow Jackets up. Holbein again. Melanie Monaco, Peterson to the outside. Here's Wellbrock. Tipped at the net. Claude. Now Stark. Top spin over the top. Melanie Monaco, swing from O'Leary, and she gets stuffed by Smith. Stark was also there. Jackets now up 20-9. And Coach Joe Sussenguth has seen enough. He's going to call timeout here. UWS now hitting over 300 for the match at 3:04. Meanwhile, the Cougars down to 125. And talking about the match so far that Sydney Smith is having, now hitting 800. Leading the Jackets in points with 9.5 thus far. Also 3 blocks so far. She's really controlling things in there. The Yellow Jackets now 28 kills on 7 errors on 70 swings. The Cougars 18 kills, 10 errors, and 73 swings overall. The Yellow Jackets here in set number 2 hitting 300. Same number they hit in set number 1. The Cougars, meanwhile, 000, hitting just 110 for the match. And UWS at the net really controlling things right now. Jackets looking for their 24th win of the season. The winner here, by the way, would take on the winner of the other semifinal between Northwestern and North Central. If the Yellow Jackets win and North Central win, the Jackets will have the Rams back here on Saturday for the UMAC tournament title. If the Eagles win, whoever wins this one between the Yellow Jackets and the Cougars would be visiting the Erickson Center down in St. Paul for the UMAC tournament title. In the meantime, we still have a lot of volleyball to play here, though, before we can get too far ahead of ourselves in those thoughts. In the meantime, out of the timeout, Holbein off the serve. Swing by Wellbrock, dug out by Holbein. Back set now, here's the swing from Altmans. Kept alive by the Cougars. Now they go near side, trying to tip it over there as Wellbrock. Right back to him. Now here's the swing from O'Leary, and she'll get the kill. Side out makes it 20-10. Braxton Meyer coming back in now for Morris. Meanwhile, Madeline Monaco goes back to serve it here for the Cougars. And her serve will drift long. Error makes it 21-10. Gangle will come back in. Jenna Anderson will serve for UWS. And here's her serve. Peterson back set. O'Leary tipped at the net, and that'll be a kill for Lacey O'Leary. She's having a nice match. O'Leary with her 8th kill. Hitting over 300 here. 21-11. And O'Leary will serve. Holbein. Now Stark. Top spin back. Now punched over by the Cougars. Nice dig in the back row there by Anderson. Here's the swing by Holbein. Dug out back row. Zembeck. Another swing cross court by Wellbrock. Dug out by Anderson. Bumped over by Claude. Free ball for the Cougars. Peterson to the outside. Here's the swing and the kill now for Laura Wellbrock, who's had a hard time getting off here tonight. That's her 5th kill. 21-12 your score. And O'Leary serve. Stark. Holbein bumped over for a free ball by Ayla Oltmans. Now Sydney Peterson punched over here. Nice pancake on the dig by Stark, and then the swing sent over, and that one will go long. Stark had the swing at it, actually got hung up at the net, popped up in the air, and then O'Leary sent it too long. Side off for the Jackets makes it 22-12. Sager will come back in, as will Gabby Schwertz. And Schwertz for the Yellow Jackets. Serves it back row. Zembeck. Dornseif near side. Here's the swing from Wellbrock. Joust at the net. Swing taken there by Meyer. Tipped at the net again. Now the Jackets, Sager will send it over. Now Molstead. Everybody's out of system now. And finally the point will go to the Cougars here. Both teams just punching it back and forth at the net. Eventually led to a diving dig attempt there by Anderson, who couldn't keep it in play. Point to the Cougars. 22-13. Wellbrock. Back set now from Schwartz. Punched over here by Stark. On the back set, Molstad. Schwartz. And then going cross court, attempting to go cross court, was Mayana Stark. Attack error on the senior makes it 22-14 as she hit it into the net. Well, Brock serve. Holbein, Schwartz to the middle. Here's the swing now by Gangle, and I'm not sure it ever made it over. They're going to say, I think that, yeah, it never made it over. So the Cougars putting together a little run here. Down by as many as 11 in this set, now down by 7. Here's the serve now. Stark. Far side, here's Sager. Dugout back row now by the Cougars, Dornseif. And now here's the swing taken by Zembeck, and never made its way over the net. Up the swing near side, that one taken by Mary-Kate Zembeck. Error makes it 23-15. Herring comes back in. Jackets 2 points away from a 2-0 lead. Herring serve. Wellbrock. Dornseif. Zembeck. Tipped at the net. Schwartz for the Yellow Jackets. Sager will send it over. Dornseif back set. Now here's the swing by Molstead. Jackets getting a piece of it at the net. Now to the outside here is UWS's McKenna Holbein tipping it over for a kill for Holbein. That is her 6th kill, and the Yellow Jackets now up to set point number 2 here, or set point number 1 in set number 2, 24-15. And the serve now from Holbein, near side, the swing by Zembeck, tipped at the net. Schwartz, back set. Sager on the swing. Dig by Wellbrock. Now Molstead. Jackets with Gangle now tipping it over. Now Dornseif. Molstead playing it over. Free ball Jackets. Schwartz. The freshman Holbein on the swing, and she'll get the kill. And McKenna Holbein with that swing finishes the second set 25-15. And the Yellow Jackets now lead this best of 5 UMAC tournament semifinal 2-0 here from the Mertz. And with the two teams now taking break, we shall do so as well. We'll come back with our second set summary right after this intermission sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. And like I said, we'll come right back the start of the third set and a look at the second set summary. That'll be coming up right after this. This is UWS Women's Volleyball on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Network. Matt Johnson back here at the Mertz. 2 sets in the books. The set intermission sponsored by Hovland Incorporated finds the Yellow Jackets up 2-0. UWS in that second set hit 196, while the Cougars hit just 039. Jackets taking that second set 25-15. Now hitting 244 as a team for the match. The Cougars at 110. 8 kills for Sydney Smith, who's having a huge match for the Yellow Jackets. 6 kills for Oltmans, by the way. 8 kills for O'Leary as well for the Cougars as the opening serve. Third set taken by Minnesota Morris. Peterson now backside. Here's the swing from O'Leary, and she'll get the kill. Lacey O'Leary from Sydney Peterson makes it 1-0 in favor of the Cougars. Peterson will go back to the line to serve for the second straight point here to begin the third set. Jackets looking to defeat the Cougars for the third straight year in the UMAC tournament semifinal round. As here's the serve. Claude off the reception, near side now, popping it over is Oltmans. Kept alive, now O'Leary. And went off speed with it. Caught Sydney Smith coming over, who was trying to make the block. Caught Smith on the inside of the right hand as she tried to go up for the block. She gets the kill, 2-0 your score. Now Peterson off the serve. Stark on the reception. Bumped over now by Oltmans. Free ball for the Cougars. Peterson to the outside, Zembeck. She'll go off the block attempt of Oltmans, and 3 quick points here for Minnesota Morris to begin the third set. 3-0 your tally. Peterson serve. Stark. Now Holbein playing it over back row, Wellbrock. Peterson back set, O'Leary swing, tipped at the net. Claude back set. Oltmans on the swing, and she'll get the kill, and that's the first point of set number 3 for the Yellow Jackets as Ayla Oltmans puts down her 7th kill of the match. 3-1 your score. Holbein goes back to the line to serve it. Wellbrock Peterson to the outside, Zembeck, her swing, and she'll get the kill. Mary-Kate Zembeck makes it 4-1. And Zembeck will go back to the line to serve here for the Cougars. Here's her serve. Stark, Claude. Back set, off balance was Oltmans, plays it over for a free ball. Emily Monaco to the outside. Wellbrock on the swing, and she'll get the kill. And the Cougars out to a quick 5-1 lead here in set number 3. Zembeck serve here. Holbein, Claude, Stark. Now Joust at the net. Punched over. Free ball Jackets, Claude. Stark going up, and she hit it on the underside of the net. 6 of the first 7 points now. Jackets getting discombobulated here a bit on these last few sequences. To the Cougars, they now lead at 6-1. Zembeck serve, and that one will drift long. 6-2 now your tally. So Jackets with a bit of a hill to climb here. Early stages third set as Gangle comes back in. Smith will check out. Jenna Anderson to the line here for UWS. Here's her serve. Wellbrock, Peterson. Back set, the swing by O'Leary. Dug out by Anderson. Claude. Stark. And Stark now, and the joust at the net, will put it down with the right hand. Tipped it wide of Braxton Meyer, who was going up for the block. 6-3 now your score. Anderson serve. Melanie Monaco receives. Sydney Peterson to the outside. Here's the swing by Wellbrock, and she'll get the kill. Went high off the block there of Addie Gangle to get the termination to make it now 7-3. Madeline Monaco returns, while Melanie Monaco goes back to serve. So both Monaco sisters are out there now. Melanie from the service line. Stark. Claude through the middle. Here's Gangle on the swing. Big swing there from Addie Gangle. Gets the kill to make it 7-4. Schwartz and Sager will come back in. And Schwartz's serve. Zembeck Peterson. Here's the swing through the middle now, and that one's put down this time by Madeline Monaco. Side out makes it 8-4. O'Leary to the line here for the Cougars. Holbein back row. Schwartz to the outside now. Stark rising up. Gets a swing away and gets stuffed and then bumped it over the net but out of play. Jack Ayer makes it now 9-4. And now a timeout called by head coach Lynn Diedrich of the Yellow Jackets. As the Cougars with a 5-point lead here, early stages of the third set. Have you downloaded Swarm Central, the official rewards and loyalty app of the Yellow Jackets? Get started and receive 200 points just for registering and 200 more for downloading the app. Redeem your points for cool prizes in the Swarm Central store. Find Swarm Central in the Apple and Google stores today. Slow start here to the third set for the Yellow Jackets. Hitting 083. Cougars, meanwhile, so far with 7 quick kills on 9 swings, hitting 778 so far. They're all the way up now to 170. The Jackets down to 224. O'Leary, by the way, now up to 10 kills, leading everybody in that department. Smith with 8, Holbein with 7, Oltmans with 7 for the Yellow Jackets. 2 players with 7 each, and Zembeck and Welbrock as well here for Minnesota Morris. Jen Anderson, by the way, 26 digs in the match. Welbrock so far with 13 digs for the Cougars. Colleen Claude with 15 assists for the Yellow Jackets. Sydney Pearson with 19 thus far here for the Cougars. As we come out of the timeout, O'Leary at the line here for Minnesota Morris, and she'll serve it down for an ace. Caught the tape. And it fell in front of the diving attempt of Mayana Stark. 10-4 now your score. As O'Leary serves. Holbein, Schwartz. Here's the swing now from Addie Gangle, and she'll get the kill. Side out Yellow Jackets. Savannah Herring coming back in. She will take out Mayana Stark. Jackets serving 5-10 here. Set number 3, leading at 2-0 if you're just joining us. Taking the first 2 sets 25-22 and 25-15. In the meantime, now Herring. Now Dornseif punched over for a Yellow Jacket free ball by Welbrock. To the outside, now here's the swing from Sager. Tipped at the net. Dornseif now trying to punch it over was Welbrock. Free ball for the Yellow Jackets. Anderson, Schwartz, Holbein. Dug out back row by Dornseif. Far side, Welbrock. Another dig for the Yellow Jackets, Anderson. Now Holbein. Off her swing. Ball's kept alive here by the Cougars. Now Schwartz to the middle. Here's the swing by Gangle, and she'll get the kill. Extended rally there, ends in a kill for Addie Gangle. Her 6th kill makes it 10-6. Savannah Herring for UWS. Off of her serve, and she'll miss the far sideline for an error. Side out to the Cougars makes it 11-6. Welbrock back to the line here. Here's her serve. Herring. Punched over now by UWS's Gangle, but they're going to call Schwartz in the net. The initial contact took Gabby Schwartz into the net on the serve receive. That makes it now 12-6. Welbrock off of her serve, and she'll tuck it inside the line. Holbein turned and watched that one fall right in front of her. Not sure what that was all about there, but Jackets not sharp here to begin the third set. Now down 13-6. Welbrock right back to the freshman Holbein. Better contact this time. Now tipped over here by Gangle. Sent over for a Yellow Jacket free ball here by Dornseif. Schwartz to the middle, and there's a big swing there from Holbein. 13-7 off the side out. Sydney Smith will come back in. Gangle back to serve it. And here's Gangle's serve. Welbrock backs that from Dornsife, Molstead, tipped at the net. Free ball Cougars. Now hanging in the air is Madeline Monaco, and she'll get the kill. Have a excuse me kill there from Madeline Monaco. But it goes down nonetheless. Jackets were a little off balance off the block attempt, and it just happened to fall on the Yellow Jacket side of the court to make it 14-7. Now off the serve. Here's the swing now from Holbein, and she'll get the kill, make it 14-8. Claude now will come in to replace Sager. Oltmans comes in to replace Schwartz. And here's the serve now from Claude. Top spin, back row, Wellbrock. Dornsife tipped over now by Meyer. Still alive, and then off the overpass will be put down by Meyer to make it 15-8. Peterson and O'Leary are going to come back in now for Morris. Take out Molstead and Dornsife. Peterson serve. Herring, Claude. Swing now by Sydney Smith. Dug up by Melanie Monaco. And she'll bump it over now for a Yellow Jacket free ball. Claude, Smith again. Dug out this time by Peterson. Now Zembeck tips it over. Claude off the dig. Bumped outside by Anderson. Now the swing by Holbein. Dug back row by Wellbrock. Here's the swing near side now by O'Leary, and that one never, I think, made it over the net. In fact, it did not. 4 contacts against the Cougars makes it now 15-9. Holbein serve. Peterson to the outside. Zembeck on the swing, and she'll get the kill. (16-9) your score now, off the side out. Zembeck back to the line here. And she'll get the ace. Dropped it right out in front of McKenna Holbein. And Coach Lynn Diedrich going to call her second final timeout here of set number 3. Jackets have been a little bit turned around here in this set, to say the least, but the Cougars have also picked up their play. They're hitting .409 here in this set. Down up to 168. The Jackets down to 225. Cougars so far in this set, 10 kills, just 1 error on 22 attacks. Jackets with 7 kills thus far. 3 errors on 25 swings. Cougars up to 7 aces in the match. The Yellow Jackets have 3 thus far. O'Leary still leading everybody in kills with 10. She's come down a little bit from where she was earlier in the match. She's now at .286 hitting percentage. Zembeck now at 8 kills for the match. Sydney Smith still leading everybody in terms of individual attack percentage. Now it's .667. Holbein for the Yellow Jackets at .231 on 9 kills. Oltmans with 7 kills. As we come out of the timeout here, Cougars trying to make this a 2-1 matchup. As Zembeck at the line here. Here's her serve. Holbein, Claude, now Smith. Dug out back row by Zembeck. Wellbrock sends it over for Yellow Jacket free ball. Now Mayana Stark goes up, and she'll get the kill. On the swing near side, Mayana Stark brings the Jackets within 17-10 as Gangle comes back in. Now Anderson will serve. Here's her serve. Melanie Monaco. Sydney Peterson back set. Here's the swing now by O'Leary. That's her 11th kill. Up off the block of Stark to make it 18-10. Now Melanie Monaco. Anderson, Claude. Stark sends it over. Wellbrock sends it over for Yellow Jacket free ball. Now near side, here's the swing by Oltmans. Tipped at the net. Right back to the Jackets. Now they try the near side, tipping it over Stark. Dug out by Peterson. Melanie Monaco, now O'Leary. Dug out by UWS's Holbein. Now Gangle. Another dig for O'Leary. Now it's going to fall on the Cougar side of the net. They had 3 contacts. Everybody just watched that one fall. There was no need to play that one. They weren't going to get it over. So the ball handling error there by Minnesota Morris makes it 18-11 as Schwartz comes back in, as does Sager. Here's the serve from Gabby Schwartz. Zembeck, Peterson through the middle, now punched over by Malin Monaco to the far side. Here's the swing from Sager. Dug out, far side. Now that's Wellbrock, and she'll push it down for a kill. 19-11 now your score. Lacey O'Leary back to the line to serve it. Holbein. Now played over by Stark for a Morris free ball. Peterson to the far side. Here's the swing by Wellbrock, and she'll get stuffed over there by Sager on an individual block. 19-12. Herring comes back in for the Yellow Jackets. Molstead and Dornsife going to come back in here for the Cougars. Herring now for the Yellow Jackets. Monaco back row. Wellbrock. Anderson off the dig. Schwartz. Gangle goes up. Jouts at the net now off the dig by Dornsife. Ball kept alive. Jackets trying to play it over for a free ball. They do just that. Dornsife now. Sending it over Wellbrock. Dug out back row by Herring, and now dumped over for the kill by Schwartz. Well read that time by the second setter for the Yellow Jackets in the 6-2. 19-13 your score. Savannah Herring continuing from the line. And now we've got some moisture on the floor, so our down referee making sure that gets wiped up there. Before we continue on here, mid to later stages, set number 3. Herring for the Yellow Jackets. Melanie Monaco, Dornsife, Molstead. Now sent over here by Schwartz. Now everybody's out of system as it comes back row here. Herring. Now it's Holbein punching it over. Dug out by Monaco. Now Zembeck to the outside. Wellbrock on the swing. Tipped at the net there by Addie Gangle. Now Schwartz for Gangle. Her swing, and they're going to call... Looks like they're going to call Madeline Monaco into the net. Got the number on that one. 19-14 now your score. Now Herring off the serve. Back row. Should be a free ball for the Jackets as it's sent over by Zembeck. Schwartz. Near side. Here's the swing by Holbein. Tipped at the net. And the block will go down in the books there for Anna Molstead to make it 20-14. Solo block from Molstead on Holbein. Wellbrock back to the line to serve. Serve now back row. Anderson. Gangle now trying to tip it over. Back set from Schwartz. And the swing and the kill over there for UWS's Marina Sager makes it 20-15. Gangle goes back to the line. And her serve. Alan Monaco. Now Zembeck from the far side, and she uses the block attempt there of UWS's Sager to get the kill to make it 21-15. Now Malin Monaco will serve. Herring. Schwartz. Sager. Diving dig there for Malin Monaco, but they couldn't keep it in play, and the Cougars end up with the ball handling error on their side of the net to make it 21-16. Claude comes back in, as does Oltmans. And Claude serve. Wellbrock. Dornsife and the swing by Molstad. Got under that one and hit it well long. Aaron makes it 21-17. The Jackets creeping back just a little bit here. Trailed by as many as 9 in this set, now down by 4. At 21-17, here's the serve now from Claude. Wellbrock, Dornsife, Zembeck tipping it over. And the Yellow Jackets got turned around on that play. Initial contact on that free ball over was by Claude, and that set the Yellow Jackets out of system. So a opportunity missed there to make it 22-17. And Peterson goes back to the line now. Cougars trying to send this to a 4th set. Here's the serve. Herring, Claude, rising up, and here's the swing now by Olmans, and she'll get the kill to make it 22-18. Stark will come back in. Holbein will go back and serve here for the Jackets. And here's McKenna Holbein's serve. To the outside, here's the swing now by Zembeck, going off the block attempt there of Oltmans. 23-18, 2 points away from a 4th set here. As Zembeck goes back to the line. Her serve. Holbein, Claude, Stark, playing it over. Dug out by Peterson. Now Wellbrock. Dug out by Anderson back row. Claude. Rising up, here's the swing now by Oltmans, and that one goes long. Are they going to say no touch? Attack area makes it 24-18, and now the Cougars have set point for the first time here in the match. Down 2-0, trying to send it, like I said, to a 4th set as Mary-Kate Zembeck floats the serve over. Claude, here's the swing now from Smith. Dig comes over, another free ball for the Jackets. Another back set. Here's Oltmans now trying to tip it over, dug out by Peterson. Nellie Monaco. Wellbrock up the swing, and that does it as she gets the kill. Laura Wellbrock's 9th kill of the match. Gives the 3rd set to the Cougars. As Minnesota Morris comes back, they take set number 3 by the final tally of 25-18. They now trail this best-of-5 UMAC tournament semifinal 2-1. And we'll take a quick break, sponsored by Hobbit Incorporated, and come back with the start of the 4th set. That's coming up right after this. This is UWS Women's Volleyball on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on the Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Network. Matt Johnson back here at the Merce, getting ready for the start of the 4th set. This 3rd set intermission, sponsored by Hobbit Incorporated, finds the Yellow Jackets now up by a tally of 2-1. UWS taking the first set 25-22, the second set 25-15, while the Cougars came back to take the 3rd set 25-18. Numbers through 3 sets. The Yellow Jackets hitting .212 as a team. 42 kills, although they have been going downward since their first set when they hit 300. 196 in the second set for the Jackets, 152 in the 3rd set. The Cougars, meanwhile, in that third set, up to 262. They're now hitting 158 for the match. 10 kills for McKenna Holbein for the Yellow Jackets to lead them. Meanwhile, Mary-Kate Zembeck and Lacey O'Leary each with 11 kills to lead everybody for the Cougars. After 3 sets, Yellow Jackets 17 assists for Gabby Schwartz, 33 digs to lead everybody for Jenna Anderson, 10 more digs, by the way, for Savannah Herring. For UWS, meanwhile, Laura Wellbrock, 9 kills and 15 digs now. 11 kills and 11 digs for Zembeck, so she has a double-double. As far as assists, Sydney Peterson so far leading everybody with 22 for Minnesota Morris. The Jackets will serve first here to begin the 4th set, leading at 2-1. The winner here will be traveling officially down to the Erickson Center to take on Northwestern for the UMAC tournament title on Saturday. The Eagles swept North Central earlier this evening, so they will await the winner of this one. In the meantime, the Yellow Jackets, Colleen Claude will lead things off here in the 4th set. Jackets got off to a slow start in the 3rd set. We'll see if they can come back in this one, as off the serve from Claude, received by the Cougars. Punched over now by O'Leary. Now here's a swing from Smith, and she'll miss the near side, and it'll be an attack error that makes it 1-0. The Cougars siding out immediately to begin the 3rd set. And Mary-Kate Zembeck will go back to the line to serve for Minnesota Morris. Here's her serve. Herring, Claude. Now here's the swing taken by Holbein. Dugout back row. Now on the near side, here's the swing by Wellbrock, and she'll get the kill. Cougars scoring the first 2 points here of set number 4. Zembeck still at the line. Here's her serve. Holbein, Claude. Back for McKenna Holbein. She gets tipped at the net. Now played over for a Minnesota Morris free ball. Peterson back set. O'Leary tipping it over. Now Claude. Altmans tipped at the net. And are they going to say it was 4 contacts? They are. So the Jackets off to another slow start here. 3-0 down. This is how they started the 3rd set. Zembeck back to the line here. Here's her serve. Anderson, Claude, Smith. Tipped at the net again. Now Holbein off balance, goes cross court, dug up by Wellbrock. Peterson, O'Leary with the swing. Dug out by the Yellow Jackets now at the net, and finally the UWS will get a point. Braxton Miller was a little off balance. Jackets got a piece of it, caught the tape, and then it fell on the Cougar side of the net to make it 3-1. And now McKenna Holbein for the Yellow Jackets will serve it here. Here's her serve. Wellbrock. Peterson. Wellbrock coming up. Tipped at the net. Free ball Jackets. Anderson. Outside. Stark. Melanie Monaco off the dig. Now O'Leary. Dug out by Colleen Claude. Anderson. Altmans. Now she'll roll it over. Peterson for Minnesota Morris. Back row attack here by Zembeck is into the net for an error. Jackets with 2 straight after giving up the first 3 here of the 4th set. To now trail it 3-2. Holbein at the line. We'll serve it up. Zembeck, Peterson, Wellbrock. Dug up there by Anderson. Now at the net. Off balance was Wellbrock. And they kept it alive, or did they not? They did not. It's a 4 contact there. Going to be called against Minnesota Morris, and we're tied up 3 apiece. Holbein for the Yellow Jackets. Topspin, and she'll get the service ace. Malin Monaco was going backwards on that one. Ball came in front of her, couldn't adjust her footwork to keep the ball in play, and the ace gives the Yellow Jackets a 4-3 lead. Holbein again. Zembeck. And now that one will be tipped over here by Peterson. The Yellow Jacket block didn't quite anticipate that one. Just tipping it over for the kill there was Sydney Peterson to make it 4 apiece. Or what's the call here? I guess they're going to give the point to the Jackets as they say Peterson was in the net. Wow. So wipe that point away. Now 5-3 as Holbein off the serve. Melanie Monaco, Peterson to the outside. Wellbrock tipped at the net there by Altmans. Monaco, Wellbrock again, and this time in the net again. So now the Cougars having some issues. 6-3, the Yellow Jackets now with 6 straight. And as McKenna Holbein now will go back to the line again. Here's her serve. Zembeck, Peterson, back set, O'Leary. And she'll tip it over and get the side out to make it now 6-4. Malin Monaco will come back while her sister Melanie goes back to serve. Here's her serve. Holbein. Claude, back set. Altmans. And she tried to go cross court. Missed the far side. Attack error on the Jackets makes it now 6-5. Melanie Monaco continues to serve here for the Cougars. Here's her serve. Holbein. Claude. Outside now Stark. Tipped at the net. Peterson. Welbrock, and she'll find the far corner. Tucking it inside the line, far side. The kill for Welbrock now evens it up at 6 apiece. Melanie Monaco serve into the net for an error. Side out to the Jackets, makes it 7-6. Addie Gangle returns for UWS. Jenna Anderson goes back to serve it. And now to the far side. Here's a swing and a kill for the Yellow Jackets, Addie Gangle. Now off to serve from Anderson. Peterson through the middle. Here's the swing now taken by Malin Monaco. Now here's the swing by Gangle far side, and that's 2 straight now for Addie Gangle. Both assists going to Colleen Claude to make it 9-6. And here now is Jenna Anderson's serve. Cougars all turned around here. Now punching it over is going to be O'Leary, and she'll get the excuse me kill on that one. Nobody quite knew where that ball was. It didn't look like it anyway. And O'Leary, as everybody froze, just punched it over the top to get the side out. To make it 9-7. Off the serve now. Claude. Stark on the swing, and that one will go long. Attack error makes it 9-8. Actually, they're going to say there was a touch at the net. Give that point to the Jackets to make it now 10-7. Going back to the line now. For UWS is Gabby Schwartz, who's checked back in. They're trying to get the scoreboard worked out here. It should be 10-7. Right now they have it at 9-8. There we go. Now the scoreboard is correct, and we can play on here. Gabby Schwartz will serve it for the Yellow Jackets. While Molstead will check in, as will Dornsife. They will take out O'Leary and Peterson here for the Cougars. Stick around for our postgame show, by the way, sponsored by Synovus Energy. Whenever it is that we go final here. In the meantime, here's the serve from Schwartz. Zembeck. Now played over for a Yellow Jacket free ball by Welbrock. Schwartz. Tipped over now by UWS's Mayana Stark, and she'll put it down to make it 11-7. Schwartz for the Yellow Jackets. And here's her serve. And it's going to be an ace for Gabby Schwartz. Tucked it right inside the back line. Zembeck was letting it go. And the Jackets now up 12-7, and a timeout going to be called here by head coach Joe Sussenguth. UWS just a shade under 200 hitting now. Pretty well balanced tonight. We talked about that after each set. McKenna Holbein with 10 kills for the Jackets. 8 each for Addie Gangle and Sydney Smith for the Jackets. 7 kills each so far from Mayana Stark and Ayla Oltmans. Schwartz with 18 assists. Claude with 17 assists, showing some of that versatility and depth we talked about before when it came to Yellow Jacket volleyball this year. Savannah Herring now with 10 digs, while the way Colleen Claude has a double-double, 17 assists and 11 digs. Jen Anderson, again, no surprise, 36 digs for her. And that's coming off of a career high 44 in her last match, and she may end up getting there before this match is over as well. May break that career record again. Previous record was 43, set a couple of years ago. Meanwhile for Morris, 13 kills for Lacey O'Leary to lead everybody. 11 each so far for Zembeck and Wellbrock. 25 assists for Sydney Peterson, while defensively, Wellbrock with 16 digs, 13 for Zembeck, 17 for Peterson, and 10 so far for Melanie Monaco. As we come out of the timeout, Schwartz continuing to serve here for the Jackets. And here's her serve. Zembeck, Dornseif, Wellbrock punches it over. Dugout back row by Anderson. Now the swing by Hobein. Tipped at the net. Jackets will give it another try as it's floated over by Stark. Dugout by Wellbrock. Now Wellbrock off the swing, and she misses the far side. Attack error. Makes it 13-7. Jackets by 6. UWS has now scored 13 of the last 17 points here in this fourth set. And here's Schwartz's serve. Zembeck. Malin Monaco. Wellbrock. Dug out by the Yellow Jackets. Tipped over now by Gangle, and she'll get the kill. Addie Gangle with 9 kills. Jackets now up 14-7. Schwartz's serve. Wellbrock. Zembeck. Wellbrock again. Back set now from Schwartz. Here's the swing by Sager. Tipped at the net. Schwartz. There's the swing from Hobein. Dig for the Cougars. Now far side, and now Molstad is the set coming in from Dornseif. Took her off balance. Decided to take a swing at it and hit it outside the antenna for an error. And the Cougars right now all turned around on offense. Haven't had a really good swing here in the last about 8 or 9 points. And now a full-on substitution here. Every Warner checking in for the first time. 15-7, Jackets by 8. Now off the serve. Here's an overpass. Jackets with a free ball. Schwartz to the outside. Here's Stark. Her swing dug out by Warner. Now near side, Wellbrock. Her swing dug out back row. Now at the net. Joust between Gangle and Peterson. The two 21s coming together. Now Wellbrock off the swing, and she'll finally, I think, get the kill. As Sager, couldn't keep it in play. Anderson giving it her all in the back row, but couldn't keep it up. But great effort from the Yellow Jackets and the Cougars. That's how hard they've had to work to get points here recently. 15-8. Off the side out. And now here's Wellbrock's serve. Anderson, Schwartz. Stark rises up, gets the swing away. Tipped at the net. Peterson now for the Cougars. Punched over now by Zembeck. Kept alive. Now Schwartz to the outside. Sent over by Mayana Stark. Now sent back to their direction by Zembeck. Everybody's out of system. Now rolled over by Gangle. Now Peterson. Bumped outside by Anderson. Here's the swing by Sager. Melanie Monaco off the dig. Near side now, here's Zembeck going cross-court. Dug out by Jenna Anderson. Now dumped over by Schwartz. Now Zembeck. Her swing tipped at the net. Bumped up in the air. Bumped outside now further by Jenna Anderson. The swing by Stark, and she'll go high off the block attempt there of Morris Sutter, Sydney Peterson to get the kill. And after all that, the Jackets end up taking a 16-8 lead. Herring back in for UWS to serve. She'll float it over now. Melanie Monaco. Sydney Peterson near side. Here's the swing for Zembeck, and she'll get that side out. 16-9 now your score. Malin Monaco now will take her turn at the line. Herring off the reception. Schwartz, short set through the middle. Gangle tipped at the net by Meyer. Now to the far side, here's the swing now taken by Hobein. Diving dig back row by Malin Monaco. Now the swing by Zembeck. Dug up by Herring. Sent over now by Sager. Peterson, short set through the middle. Punch over by Meyer. Schwartz to the outside. Here's the swing by McKenna Holbein, and she'll finally put it down. 17-9 your score. Gangle to the line. Here's her serve. Wellbrock. Peterson. And now she'll send it along, and off the reception, it's like they are going to call that one a tip kill at the net there for Peterson. Really didn't have any other choice as the pass was a little bit off from Wellbrock on the reception. She'll get the kill to side out at 17-10. And now here's her serve. Anderson, Schwartz, Holbein. Dug out by Sydney Peterson. Now Zembeck. Dug out by Anderson. Now back row, here's the swing now by Holbein. Now Zembeck on the swing near side, and she'll get the kill. The assist on that one will go to Sydney Peterson to make it 17-11. And now Jenna Anderson coming over to request a towel. More dampness on the floor over here to my left. Everybody taking a quick break here. Yellow Jackets hitting 193. The Cougars at 124. Interestingly enough, those are just about the season averages for the Yellow Jackets, both offensively and defensively. As Peterson's serve. Herring just punches it over. Now here's the swing from Zembeck, and she'll get stuffed at the net by Sydney Smith. Had a quiet third set that Smith after really standing out in the second. Her solo block there on Mary Kate Zembeck makes it 18-11. Colleen Claude comes back in to serve here for the Yellow Jackets. And she'll serve it up now. Back row, here's Wellbrock. Peterson through the middle. Here's the swing now by O'Leary. Tip at the net. Back set now for Oltmans. Sends it over. Ball still alive. Free ball Yellow Jackets. Now dumped over by Claude. Dug out by the Cougars. Zembeck now will punch it over. Claude outside. Here's the swing, and the ball's long for Holbein. Are they going to call a touch? And now we're going to have a conversation here. It's hard to tell from up here whether there was a touch on that swing by Holbein. She thought it was a kill. Score remains 18-11 here. And now everybody's going to confer with our up referee, the two linesmen, also the down referee. Let's see who they end up giving this point to. And they're going to give the point to the Yellow Jackets. They're going to say there was a tip at the net, so it'll be 19-11. Again, it's really hard to tell from my angle, and especially from my location here above the playing surface. But in the meantime, now a timeout going to be called here by the Cougars. UWS, by the way, by set here. Hitting 300 in the first, 196 in the second, 152 in the third, and 135 so far here in the fourth. But the big story here, I think, has been the Yellow Jackets defense. The Cougars right now hitting negative 024 in the set, hitting 115 for the match. The Jackets, meanwhile, at 195. Holbein now has 12 kills. Gangle, 9 kills for the Yellow Jackets, 8 each now for Smith, Stark, and 7 so far for Oltmans. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, both Zembeck and O'Leary with 13 kills, 11 so far for Wellbrock. She's been busy. She's taken 56 swings tonight. That by far leads everybody on both teams. The Yellow Jackets' leading swinger so far has been McKenna Holbein with 38 attempts. As we come out of timeout, Claude Again at the line here. And here's her serve. Zembeck, Peterson. Zembeck tipped at the net. Dug out back row by Savannah Herring for UWS. Now here's the swing by Holbein. Dug out by the Cougars. To the outside now O'Leary with the swing, and she'll go off of the block attempt there of Sydney Smith to get the kill to make it 19-12. Here's the serve now from Zembeck. Claude now to the outside. Oltmans. Top spin in the corner for the kill there by Ayla Oltmans. Just put it where the Cougars weren't. Oltmans' kill makes it now 20-12. And Holbein back to the line here for UWS. Kenna Holbein. Melanie Monaco near side. Wellbrock, and she'll get the kill. Swing number 57 results in kill number 12 for Laura Wellbrock to make it 20-13. Now it's Melanie Monaco to the line here to serve it. Holbein. Claude to the outside. Stark on the swing, and she'll get the kill. Mayana Stark, playing her final home match as a Yellow Jacket, gets the kill there to make it 21-13. Now Jenna Anderson serve. Zembeck, Peterson, short set through the middle. Swing by Madeline Monaco, and now the set to the outside for Ayla Oltman. She goes up and pounds it down for the kill. The assist to Colleen Claude makes it 22-13. Jackets 3 points away from advancing to their third straight UMAC tournament title contest as off the serve from Anderson. Zembeck. Swing by O'Leary, and she'll get the kill. 22-14 now your score. Again, stick around for our post-game show, sponsored by Synovus Energy. As O'Leary off the serve. Anderson, Claude, Gangle on the swing, and it'll be kept alive. Check that, it will not be kept alive as the hard swing there from Gangle took a couple of deflections, was finally punched out. And well off the court by Lacey O'Leary to make it 23-14. We'll go through our final numbers in this one. We'll also name our post-game show player of the match. All that coming up once we go final here. In the meantime now, Gabby Schwartz is in to serve for the Yellow Jackets. Now we're just making sure that the scorers table is up to date on everything here. And apparently everything is copacetic. Schwartz's serve. Wellbrock. Peterson now will punch it over. Peterson, one of the taller setters that you'll see, 5'10". Took the opportunity there just to put it down with two hands. Side out makes it 23-15. Wellbrock goes back to serve it. Here's her serve. Anderson. Stark. Top spin down near side. Tucks it right out in front of the diving attempt there by Melanie Monaco, and it's now match point for the Yellow Jackets. 24-15. Savannah Herring, the freshman defensive specialist, will try to end it here for UWS as the crowd comes to their feet here at the Mertz. Here's the serve from Herring. Melanie Monaco. Peterson. Near side. Here's the swing now by Zembeck. Tipped at the net. Peterson now will punch it over. Free ball Jackets. Now punch deep. By Schwartz. Sent over now by Warner. Now near side. Here's the swing by Holbein, and she'll put it down. And the Yellow Jackets off the kill from McKenna Holbein. The assist to Gabby Schwartz, and the Yellow Jackets for the third straight season. And the Minnesota Morris Cougars season. And their third straight win over the Cougars in the UMAC tournament semifinal round as the Yellow Jackets take the fourth and final set by the final score of 25-15. And with that being the case, we'll take a quick break and come back with our postgame show sponsored by Synovus Energy. That's coming up right after this. This is UWS Women's Volleyball on 91.3 FM, KUBD West Superior, and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. Matt Johnson back here at the Mertz as we jump into our post-game show, sponsored by Synovus Energy. The Yellow Jackets off to their third straight Upper Midwest Athletic Conference tournament title game as they defeat Minnesota Morris for the third straight season on the way to that tournament title game, by the way. 3-1. Yellow Jackets winning it by set 25-22, 25-15, 18-25, and 25-15. Jumping into our numbers here. Yellow Jackets for the match hitting 211 as a team by set 300 in the first, 196 in the second, 152 in the third, and 209 in the fourth and final set. Yellow Jackets with 54 kills as a team. There's plenty of spreading around the wealth for the Yellow Jackets tonight as well. 12 kills for the freshman Hobart, including the game-clinching kill off of an assist from Gabby Schwartz. 10 kills for Mariana Stark in her final home match as a Yellow Jacket. Congratulations to her. 9 kills in the match for Ayla Oltmans, 9 kills in the match for Addie Gangle, and 8 kills for Sydney Smith. Again, showcasing that balance that we talked with head coach Lean Diedrich about in our pregame interview. 21 assists each for Gabby Schwartz and Colleen Claude as well. And that 6-2 offense. Meanwhile, Jenna Anderson, career high 44 digs against Bethany Lutheran. And that 5-setter, this time she gets 41 digs in 4 sets. More than 10 digs per set for Jenna Anderson. And like I said, she's also closing out her home career here tonight. And the senior from Bemidji, Minnesota. A big reason why the Yellow Jackets lead the nation in total digs and digs per set. And you can see why. 41 digs tonight for Anderson. So she would average more than 10 per set herself. Jackets also getting double-figure digs from Savannah Herring, McKenna Holbein, who ended up with 12 kills and 12 digs, and 11 digs from Colleen Claude, and another double-double for her, 21 assists and 11 digs for UWS. Meanwhile, for Minnesota Morris, Lacey O'Leary led everybody with 15 kills on 34 swings, 13 for Mary Kate Zembeck, and 12 for Laura Welbrock. 29 assists in the match for Sydney Peterson, and defensively, the Cougars getting 20 digs as well from Peterson, so she had a double-double with the 29 assists to go with 20 digs. 18 digs as well for Laura Welbrock. She's a senior, by the way, so her final match as a Cougar. 15 digs for Mary Kate Zembeck and 12 for Melanie Monaco in the match as well. The Yellow Jackets with the win, by the way, finishing up the home portion of 2024 with a 24-7 overall record. They now head on to the UMAC tournament title contest, while the Cougars finish up at 16-11. Your post-game show player of the match, by the way, for the Yellow Jackets, I'm going to give it to the libero. 8 times she's been named UMAC Defensive Player of the Week, and you can see why. We talked about her in the Open as well. Jenna Anderson for the Yellow Jackets, 44 total digs in the 5-set win over Bethany Lutheran on Saturday. And you could argue that she was even better tonight with 41 digs in 4 sets. So Jenna Anderson in her final home match as a Yellow Jacket, your post-game show player of the match. Up next for the Yellow Jackets, of course, they take on Northwestern down at the Erickson Center on Saturday. For the 3rd straight season, Yellow Jackets and the Eagles will determine who gets the automatic berth from the UMAC to the NCAA tournament. For more information on that match, you can go to uwsyellowjackets.com to find out what time that match will be played down in St. Paul. Meanwhile, our next radio and streaming broadcast, both on 91.3 FM and on Yellow Jacket TV, will come up tomorrow right here from the Mertz back here in less than 24 hours as the Yellow Jacket men's basketball team takes on St. Scholastica in the annual bridge battle. Opening tip of that one, 7 p.m., the pregame with yours truly starting at about 6:45 or so. Again, that match right here on 91.3 FM, KUWS, and on Yellow Jacket TV. A big thank you to Bradley Lellis, who is my engineer with Yellow Jacket TV tonight, and also a big thank you to Owen Peterson, who was my producer back at 91.3. Helped you bring all the sights and sounds of this contest. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We hope you enjoyed Yellow Jacket volleyball all year, by the way. Of course, this is our last broadcast of the year, and we hope you enjoyed all of our broadcasts of Yellow Jacket women's volleyball. We hope to join us again for more Jacket volleyball starting in 2025. So for Bradley at Yellow Jacket TV and for Owen back at 91.3 FM, this is Matt Johnson. One more time, repeating the final score. Yellow Jackets taking down the Minnesota Morris Cougars here in the semifinal round of the UMAC tournament. Final score here, 3-1. Jackets winning at 25-22, 25-15, 18-25, and 25-15. Thanks for watching all year, everybody. Hope to join us again for more Yellow Jacket sports tomorrow for men's basketball. Until then, this is Matt Johnson signing off. Thanks for listening, everybody, and watching. This has been Yellow Jacket women's volleyball on 91.3 FM, KUWS Superior, and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network.